Hello and welcome to Success Formulas.
14 signs your husband or boyfriend is cheating on you. When somebody's affair comes to light, their partner usually says that all the signs were there, they just failed to notice them. If you want to be aware of the signs of a cheating husband or boyfriend, continue watching this video. Before we continue the video, we'd like to thank all of our subscribers. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Your support helps us keep making more helpful and interesting content. Now let's get back to the video. Number 1. He starts paying more attention to his looks. One of the first signs you will notice if your partner is cheating on you is that he starts paying more attention to his looks. He changes his hairstyle, he starts working out, or he starts buying different clothes than he used to. Sometimes people decide to do this kind of change as part of a New Year's resolution or choose to start a new fitness routine for health reasons. But if this is the reason, they're usually pretty open about it. If your partner is unfaithful, he will give vague answers when you ask him about this. If his answer doesn't make sense, it should raise a red flag. Number 2. His schedule changes often without a good explanation. People usually have predictable schedules. If you're in a relationship or have been married for some time, you are very familiar with your partner's schedule. You know his working hours and the general way he spends his days. So, if his schedule changes and it becomes unpredictable, you will not have trouble noticing it. He may suddenly start working late or going out with friends when before he wasn't so outgoing. This may sound very suspicious. That's especially true if it keeps happening when your partner has no new job, promotion, or project that they are working on. Number 3. You suddenly have trouble reaching him during the day. No doubt, you have your routine when it comes to contacting each other during the day. You could be one of those couples that text each other all the time, or maybe you call each other around lunchtime. Whatever your routine may be, if your partner is cheating on you, chances are that will change. You will notice your partner has become quite unreachable. If he has a job that makes it tough to reach him during certain hours of the day, it doesn't mean he is cheating. But if you're suddenly struggling to reach him at times when you could in the past, that could be a bad sign. Number 4. You start noticing changes in his libido. This hardly comes as a surprise. When he is cheating on you, it will reflect on your sex life. The interesting thing is that it may go either way. His libido may be increased or quite the opposite. You have less sex than you used to have. It's more common for cheaters to decrease the frequency of sex at home simply because they're getting it elsewhere. But sometimes they try to have more sex at home than they used to. This often happens because they are feeling guilty about cheating. Or maybe they're trying to cover their tracks and convince you there's nothing wrong with your relationship. Number 5. He stops sharing details about his day. It is common for couples to share everything that happened to them during the day. It is a sweet and bonding moment. You want your partner to be involved in your life. But when they're cheating, that tends to shift to the person they're involved with. And suddenly, he starts telling you less. He simply doesn't have the need to share with you all those things he's now sharing with somebody else. He might not even be aware that he's no longer sharing things with you, but you will surely notice the change. Number 6. He starts arguing with you more. It is very common for people to become more nervous and edgy when they start having an affair. As a result, he will surely start arguing with you more than you are used to. If he starts bickering more and starts getting easily irritated by the little things you say or do, pay close attention. This behavior is usually explained by the resentment a partner feels when they are unhappy in a relationship. He is perhaps comparing you to his new partner and condemning you for not being like them. Number 7. He gets defensive about his phone or computer. This one is general knowledge when it comes to recognizing a cheater. If your partner is cheating, he will get very defensive when you try to look at his phone or computer, or, God forbid, his social media accounts. If you try to take his phone, even to check the time, he will likely make some stupid excuse why he cannot give you the phone. Of course, we all have the right to our privacy. But if he gets very defensive and he wasn't like that before, you may rightfully assume that he is trying to hide something from you. Number 8. He starts projecting his behavior on you. Projecting things on their partner is a cheater's classic move. It is a common defense mechanism that many people use to make themselves feel better about the bad things they do. People who cheat may project their behavior onto you by accusing you of cheating. This can be brought up as a serious accusation, or he can use this as a repeated joke. By accusing you of the things he is actually doing, he is shifting the focus from himself. If you are busy justifying yourself and explaining your behavior, you are not focusing on his behavior. In the end, the best defense is a good offense, isn't it? Number 9. There is no emotional intimacy. Of course, no long-term relationship is as intense after a few years as it was in the first few months. But this is different. If your partner is cheating, you will notice the fade in emotional intimacy, and it is quite sudden and fast. When you see that your partner is not emotionally connecting with you, but rather making excuses to be away from you, that is a key sign of an affair. He suddenly seems less emotionally vulnerable and intimate with you. That can mean he is emotionally connecting with someone else. Number 10. He asks about your schedule all the time. One thing that maybe hasn't come across your mind is that cheaters need to keep good track on their partner's schedule and movement. That is because they need to know what free periods of time they can use to be with the other person. He might be trying to make sure he isn't caught. So, if he starts asking you frequently when you will be home or when you are having that dinner with coworkers, you can ask yourself why that exact timing is important to him. Number 11. He is reluctant to make any big decision together. If he is cheating, the chances are good that he will be reluctant about getting a new place together or having a child with you. You make big decisions together when you are sure about the relationship and happy with your life. A person who is having an affair is probably neither of those. We talk about the future with those we plan to spend it with. When someone is cheating, he questions if you will be a part of his future. Therefore, it is expected he will talk less about his own future with you. Number 12. There are changes in spending habits. This is another obvious sign. If you notice cash withdrawals from your joint accounts that are out of your partner's usual spending limit or habit, you should ask yourself where that money is going. He might be planning something nice for you, of course, but if there is a lot of money in question or regular withdrawals each month for a longer time, chances are you are not that lucky. If you ask your partner about these expenses and his answers seem untrue and vague, it's likely that he is being unfaithful. Number 13. You start catching him in lies. This is often how cheaters get caught. Lying is not as easy as it seems. Maybe your partner says he needed to do something that doesn't add up. It might also happen that someone he says he was with slips that he wasn't. Lies might also spring up about other unimportant things. While cheating certainly is a big lie, there might be several minor lies your partner has to tell in order to conceal the affair, like stopping off to buy groceries or an assignment at work that is taking a lot of their time. Number 14. He is hostile toward you and your relationship. Cheaters often have the need to rationalize the fact they are cheating. In other words, it is the need to blame someone else, usually their partner, for their own infidelity. That is what you can notice is happening with your partner if he is having an affair. He will likely start accusing you of not being as hot as you were when you started going out, for instance. Or maybe he claims that you are not paying them as much attention as you used to, or you're not adventurous enough in the bedroom. He simply behaves judgmentally towards you and your relationship. Were you surprised by any of these signs? Let us know in the comment section. We love reading your comments. Before you leave, our team will be very happy if you can give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.